Hey everybody, what's going on? This is your broadcaster, MasterCloud, and I am back for another cast of The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Rise of the Witch King. Today's matchup is going to be a 1 versus 1 between two very talented players spawning in the lower right-hand side as the Dwarves. It is going to be MauHur and his opponent across the ford on Isen, spawning as men. It is going to be Megrim. Now, if you guys have been following my channel, you guys know these two have been playing their hearts out through a very recent online tournament, and this is going to be the final. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am to watch these games these players have been playing. It was actually a one-day tournament for those of you who aren't aware, and so these guys have been playing all day. They are both mentally probably and physically exhausted at this point, both of them trudgingly making it to the finals here, and the winner of this game will go ahead and be declared, or was declared, the victor of that tournament. Now we have an early Gondor soldier push coming from Megrim here, and MauHur, on the other hand, is going to be going for, it would appear, some Guardians. Also sending his builder very far to the north here. Now, just to refresh some of your guys' memory before we get too far into this game, this is played on the the newest version of the 2.02 patch, that is 2.02 version 4. And these players, if you guys don't remember, we actually have a forward mine here from from MauHur. He has hidden that and is going to get his Guardians here very quickly across the map here. Although I do like the little bit of the SimCity that Megrim has set up here around his barracks here to help her defend that. These soldiers will spot those Guardians, and actually, are they going to fight them or ignore them? I think they should engage. The rally call goes down though, and there goes an immediate archery range down as well. The rally call goes down on the soldiers. They are thrown into the offensive mode, and the Guardians are going to turn around and engage them, while some of them are actually still engaging the barracks. But a second group of Gondor soldiers now erupting from the barracks and can engage the Guardians now from both sides, which have gone on defensive stance actually. Meanwhile, the soldiers running around the backside of MauHur's base looking for any applicable mines that can be damaged, but actually MauHur deciding to build more mines on his opponent's side of the map, so this soldier spam, or not the soldier spam, but the soldier rush here is going to be a little bit ineffective as he's not able to find any mines to actually deal damage to. And before we got into that rather early battle there, however, I think this is a little bit of a mistake by MauHur now, because these are going to be immediately found by Megrim here. And that mine is going to be canceled, that one's going to be canceled, and Megrim here off to a pretty good start, holding off that initial rush, saving his barracks, saving his troops, able to kill off a unit of Guardians and cancel 2 enemy mines, maybe even a third, so a very nice start here from Megrim, who's taking it, or doing quite well here early on against an expert strategist, of course MauHur here, who actually has decided to go for the kill on the cave troll, and is now kicking out the cave troll now. Now, if you guys have been following my channel, we did see MauHur face off against both, let's see, actually, I can't actually call right now who he played against recently. I believe Megrim played against Ice and beat him, and MauHur we saw beat Ianwe, as well as, I forget his first opponent. Oh, it was Andy, that's right. So both of these players coming through the tournament, having some pretty interesting games, especially those against Andy. The first one against Andy I really enjoyed. And then even the ones against, actually the ones between Megrim and Ice were actually very entertaining as well. I very much enjoyed those. So if you guys did miss out on those, definitely go back and check them out, as they are pretty exciting games, I would say. Now these Guardians now moving across the top. This group of Gondor soldiers I do not believe is going to be able to get this mine, and instead might get some preliminary damage, but I think the Guardians should be able to move around the side here and engage unless they stop. In which case, these Gondor soldiers, wow, this is really impressive here by Megrim. He's going to get in another mine as well. He might lose the soldiers for his efforts, but that's just going to be a small price to pay. Meanwhile, we have a major battle going on here in the upper left, or in actually the center of the map. Those pikemen and the Guardians here engaging a couple units of Megrim's, and we actually have Faramir out now. And he's already actually up to almost level 2. Going to pick off an additional couple of Dwarves here and grab a few more levels. I mean, it looks like MauHur here going for that money instead to go ahead and replenish some of what he's lost. But I think Faramir is going to try and sneak in and grab it beforehand. Actually, no. Faramir actually throws down the sword and is not going to go for not go for the cash. So MauHur does collect on that. That's going to be a nice pickup for him right now. But his opponent, Megrim, has a ton of units out on the field right now, and he must be feeling a little bit anxious, so it looks like he has gone for the battle wagon here. I love this choice from MauHur. He's seen that there's very few enemy pikemen out on the map. He's seen that there is a hero out, but hero can't do that much to a battle wagon unless it gets in close. These Dwarven Guardians, actually up to level 2, might lose them here. Would like to see him pull those back, potentially. But I think he is indeed going to lose those here. But meanwhile, the Battle Wagon is out now, and this can deal devastating amounts of damage to any amount of Gondor soldiers. Now, there is one group of pikemen in here, but they're only down, they've been cut down to size, really. And you can see these Guardians kind of focusing on those pikemen. And I would not be surprised if that Battle Wagon shows up very soon and just plows through all of these Gondor soldiers. And here it is. As it arrives, these Gondor soldiers fall very quickly. As you guys can see, the amount of damage that does and how little damage the Gondor soldiers do to it. And it looks like the Warthog guiding the battle wagon here on the front, taking out those last couple of troops. And now I expect we're going to see an additional units of pikemen. Actually only has 1 or 2 units out. Does have the well here. That's a very nice addition that I do like from Megrim. Obviously both of these players trying very hard to go ahead and claim that grand prize, which is at this point, I believe actually these players are playing for points on I believe it's a ladder, potentially on Clan Wars, but either way, only the winner is going to get points here, so basically the loser is going to be going home with nothing. So both of these players definitely want to win. This battle wagon being very pesky at this point. Running around the backside, he's going to get this farm for his troubles. Might lose a couple of Guardians down here, but the Battle Wagon really can't engage there. Faramir deciding to go after the Battle Wagon instead of the battle now changes his mind and is going to return to fight some of these Dwarven Guardians, and these are not cheap units to just throw away. However, the pikemen now once again going for that cave troll lair. MauHur here being very active around the map, attempting to take as many of those lairs as possible to gain those extra resources from them. Faramir shooting arrows from afar here. Many of these Dwarven Guardians going to fall. I think he's going to lose all 3 of those units. The pikemen here able to take out the cave troll, able to take out the cave, pick up about 300 in resources there, maybe just a little bit less. I wonder if our Dwarven player is going to go for a hero. Would like to see Prince Brand potentially out on the field, as there's so many low tier units out on the field. I think Prince Brand would be an excellent choice right about now. But for now, MauHur going to hold off on that. Actually has some more phalanxes building at this point. Is going to lose this mine on the left side. We have a Hobbit summon going down. Whose Hobbits are these? This actually is a Hobbit summon from MauHur. He does have several units of Dwarves coming out of the mines as well. Faramir is going to be chased away temporarily. Needs to reinforce if possible. This battle wagon is still alive and kicking or running or trotting or whatever it's doing. Rolling maybe. And it is going to chase down... Oh, actually we have Boromir out now as well, so 2 heroes out now for Megrim. I really like Megrim's strategy in this game. Faramir takes a final shot, and the battle wagon goes down. Immediately another one has been queued up, though, by MauHur. Might lose this builder. Definitely going to lose this mine. If Megrim's paying attention, needs to take out that mine. That's going to be a nice pickup. Although this phalanx getting in quite far. There goes Sam or Frodo or Pippin or Merry or one of them. I can't keep track of all the hobbits, but... looks like more units streaming in from MauHur. How does MauHur have so much money is my question. He's lost a lot, but at the same time he has complete map control on his side of the map. 4 mines, 5, 6, and now building a 7, so staying on top of that mine production. Here come a unit of Gondor Knights. So we do have a stables out now for Megrim. Actually, what happened to his archery range? I wonder if he canceled that, or was that even a... Actually has armor out as well. Megrim here going for a very heavy hero strategy here, and I actually really like this from Megrim. Heroes, especially when they get higher levels, can prove to be incredibly powerful, and we do finally have Prince Brand out for MauHur. So we'll begin to slightly even out those odds, but he's basically still 1 hero to 3 at this point. 1, 2, 3, But Prince Brand now beginning to gain a little bit of experience here as he picks away some of these pikemen. I think these units are going to go for the mineshaft, but the Dwarven battle wagon shows up, and that's going to take out several of these units from behind. Prince Brand goes up to level 2. That's going to give him that access to that slam shot. Doesn't might not necessarily want to use it right now, as there isn't a lot of units here. This last Gondor Knight going to get run over very easily by this battle wagon, and down he goes. However, he does have to worry about a couple of these units now on the bottom, but he has pikemen here ready to defend. These units taking a little bit of damage. I think he just used heal. I think that was probably a little bit of a mistake. So I'm not sure that was quite necessary there. He could have easily pulled back. But Brand is out now as well. It does have the slam shot available. Is going to use it here, I think. Does he get it off? No, not in time. So the horsemen do manage to just barely escape there. An additional unit led by the two brothers, Boromir and Faramir here. It's not often that you see those two together, especially leading a contingent together. Prince Brand jumps out, able to get off the slam shot that time. Several horsemen do go down. Might have lost. Is he going to lose this entire unit, or will one get away? Looks like a couple of those horses will get away, and they will be able to easily return to that well and begin healing. Here comes an additional reinforcements as well to begin applying pressure. However, there's a battle wagon here. I'm not sure he wants to engage this without the pikemen in the front. The battle wagon can easily engage, but I think MauHur a little bit nervous of those pikemen. There goes down the horn by Boromir, though, and he's going to lose a lot of these troops. Throws down the rally call. I think he has the banner out the back here. I'm wondering if the rally call gives additional damage, though. Brand jumps out of the mine, beginning to pick off a couple of those units, but Boromir now up to level 3. Faramir continuing to deal damage. Brand up to level 4, does have that slam shot back available to him. Does use it on some of those pikemen. He's trying to get this battle wagon able to go in there, but the horsemen find it around the backside, do take it out, and MauHur here looking to be in a little bit of trouble. However, he's going to pick up a couple of horsemen here. Brand could turn around and begin focusing down that unit before they begin to heal, but instead he's focusing on the unit to the front of him here. Faramir chipping away at Brand here. Brand's taking a lot of damage. Boromir is still in here with plenty of health. Brand going to have to retreat. Tom Bombadil has been summoned. These last units actually re-engaging the horsemen here. These need to return to that the healing well and begin regenerating health and units. Does not want to throw away that very highly upgraded unit at this point. Well, not that highly upgraded, but level 2 even so. Level 2 is a huge level, of course, in this game, as you do grab that banner carry automatically at level 2. So wants to maintain those if possible. Faramir continuing to deal a lot of damage from the back here. More dwarves jumping out, though, and King Dane now out as well. And I think with King Dane here, these units are going to be a little bit nervous of engaging and are going to have to fall back. Both players doing an excellent job. You can't see it so much on the mini-map for some reason, but there is plenty of farms, not along the top side here for Megrim, but he has plenty of farms around his main area to go ahead and be making a fair amount of income at this point. Would love to see him upgrade this barracks, though. I mean, clearly he's going for some lower tier units here. Does have these additional buildings. I think the archery range is definitely a must at this point. Would like to see him potentially go for some of those higher range, higher damage units like the Knights of Dol Amroth, as we've seen used so effectively in previous games. Does have a small task force moving around the bottom side here. Would like to get around the backside of that mine, as these Dwarven Guardians can easily engage. If these units stay to the front here, we'll lose quite a few of them to those Dwarven Guardians, as they have a lot of health and can easily take on those two units, I believe. Might get the mine, so it's not going to be thrown away completely units here. Boromir now throwing down his horn. King Dane only at level 2, does not have, actually does he have Stubborn Pride? Grants all nearby allies resistance to fear. He should have it, so these units should not be stunned, and they are not. He actually has them in formation right now for some reason. I think that's to prevent them from heavily engaging these Gondor soldiers and letting Bran and some of the hobbits do the work. And Megrim actually falling back here, losing some ground to the dwarves. King Dane has taken some damage, but he's at about half health and has moved back now with his troop. Let's go ahead and take a look at the spells while we have a moment here before this big engagement, it looks like. Tom Bombadil, the rally call, and heal for Megrim. What has MauHur gone for? Actually has Rock Drop available, so he has not spent those additional power points and has saved them up and has Rock Drop available. I believe the technical term is Barrage, however, I always refer to it as Rock Drop, and could use it right here to eliminate all the enemy forces. We'll have to see if he wants to do that right now or not. But King Dane in the midst with all of these pikemen could be a devastating blow right now. He could also use it on maybe some of the infrastructure up here if he so chooses. But would love to see him pull back right now, drop the Rock Drop on all of these units here, and then charge in with King Dane and a couple of units of pikemen. Meanwhile, towards the center, a couple of horsemen now being returned to deal with this army. There isn't a lot here other than these hobbits. However, the summon time is almost up. I'm not sure why Megrim is engaging right now while the summoned hobbits are about to expire. He's taking basically needless damage. King Dane grabs another level. Prince Bran now up to level 5. Boromir in the front, beginning to engage. Faramir in the back, taking a couple pot shots as well. These units are going to have to fall back. And I think MauHur had a chance to end the game there, but for now it looks like he's holding on, biding his time, waiting for the right moment to strike. I'm not sure he had enough pikemen with him, enough reinforcing units to finish it right there, so that's why he may have been holding off. I like this little attack in the center, a little attack on the side, and I think these archers have been long overdue. Megrim taking a little bit too long to get those out. Finally has some higher tier units coming out, but by this time the dwarves now pressing forward, and Megrim seems to be in a bit of trouble. Don't forget he has the rock drop available to him as well. Could use it right there, I think, is going to be the right spot, and that is exactly what he does. The healing while in danger goes down. The marketplace as well. The archer range is taking a lot of damage, and without those archers, he basically has no units here. I mean, he has Faramir and Boromir, but those units aren't even engaging right now. Now begin to attack. Finally, an additional unit of archers showing up here. The horn goes down, but it's not any useful with King Dane on the field. He should have saved it at this point. It doesn't do anything, as King Dane allows those units to ignore that fear from the horn. Prince Bran doing a lot of damage to these archers as well. They are trying to focus him down. Might actually get him here. I think Megrim pulled him back in time. Wow, just barely. Unbelievable that he could save him. But actually Glowin now out as well. Glowin's going to go straight for the archer range. Wants to prevent any additional archers from coming out, as that spell does prevent this building from producing units and one swing. And even though he's going to lose Glowin, I think it might have been worth it there to take out an additional production structure. The Summon Rangers unit spell has gone down though, and this may be enough, just enough, for Megrim to hold on right now. But he's in a very tough spot. He actually only doesn't have those level 2 Gondor Knights anymore. It looks like he lost a couple of those, although these units are going to be thrown away. I don't know why he's charging these. Might be able to get a unit of horsemen here. Aimer goes up to level 7. That's going to be a nice pickup. And these heroes are basically a saving grace right now, as they are some of the only units he has left on the field. More Rangers now as well. The Dunedain Rangers up top, moving to the south as well to deal some additional damage. But I think Megrim here able to push back the troop of the dwarves, and actually is going to make a match out of this yet. I thought he was done for there when that rock drop came down, but managing to actually come back a little bit in this game. And Megrim here definitely fighting his hardest, and we actually have health being restored to some of these units. I'm wondering if he has an upgrade. I think he has the upgrade to the fortress there, as you can see by that beautiful tiara on the front. That does provide healing to nearby units, so I think that's why those units are being able to regen there. The Rohirrim now out on the field, beginning to deal a lot of damage. The Rangers moving through the center. However, the Dunedain Rangers are almost expired, so he's trying to make a last-ditch effort here to use them before they are gone for good, at least until his next summon, which could be some time. The builder actually begins throwing down a heroic statue. Might lose this builder here, though. The archers have expired at this point. Is going to lose the builder, I think, to the archers here if he's paying attention. That's definitely something you want to take out. And MauHur here in a little bit of trouble. Has a ton of units, though, potentially going for an attack here on the fortress. Does he have any additional spells at this point? Up to 18. I think once he gets to that level 25, though, Megrim is going to be in a ton of trouble. King Dane is not here. The horn will work this time, and these units are completely susceptible now. Even an arrow drop coming down by these Rangers, and that is going to be an excellent move here by Megrim. However, he doesn't have any pikemen in the army. This battle wagon is going to completely decimate the backup archery here. Might lose the battle wagon, but took out plenty of units for that battle wagon there. And Prince Bran now out as well, beginning to deal damage. And this unit that he was pressing with has basically been decimated. He's going to retreat with what little units he has, but here comes the second battle wagon. And he can easily chase this down. However, here comes the horsemen in for Megrim. And I think they are going to be enough to save these archers. An excellent save here by Megrim, as that battle wagon is going to be immediately turned back. needs to reinforce with some pikemen if possible. Glowin now back out on the field. Gimli as well. We have all the Dwarven heroes now out for our Dwarven player. And when all the Dwarven heroes are on the field, it is trouble. That is for sure for the enemy player. Or for the other player, rather. In this case, that would, of course, be Megrim. These units now moving down from the north, they're going to find a little bit of a surprise here as there is plenty of units to engage, and these Gondor soldiers are basically riffraff at this point, being basically thrown away, fed to the Dwarven heroes. And this is going to be a little bit of a mistake, I think. You don't want, the reason you want to build Gondor soldiers this late in the game is because they're basically just fodder units, especially against these dwarves. They just eat them for breakfast, basically, and grab all that experience, go to those higher levels. And, of course, King Dane, once he gets to level 8, I mean, it's pretty much GG as well as Glowin. Don't forget that very powerful Shatter Hammer causing the small earthquake. Just completely devastating. Gimli, once he gets to level 5, I believe, yes, it is the Slayer ability, gaining 100% damage, not to mention that additional movement speed. These Dwarven heroes just get so powerful at higher levels that you just do not want to let them get that high. Here comes the Earthquake, though. He managed to get the level 25 power. I was just about to check to see, but he had Earthquake available, and there goes all the defenses. This fortress is completely vulnerable. Boromir and Aragorn now out as well, but Aragorn's only level 1. Where is he going? Why is he leaving? I mean, there's a couple of units in the back here. Boromir is on the wrong side of the map, though. Oh, excuse me. Actually, I thought I was looking at the other fortress there. Boromir not on the wrong side of the map. But even so, it's not going to be enough. Boromir cannot take on this many dwarves, can he? Are they actually being pushed back at this point? Maybe with Aragorn here, too, now that he's returned. But a couple of units show up. Prince Bran still in the back. The hobbits here might be enough to drive away these heroes temporarily. But here comes the additional units. Several units of dwarven pikemen. The slam ability goes down from Glowin. These units starting to take a ton of damage. I think he needs Code out at this point, but there's so many phalanxes out that would they really be effective? Probably not. I think his heroes here are the best chance that he has, and potentially adding the flame upgrade to the archer range, but he doesn't have time right now. He doesn't have the resources. He doesn't have the time. He's having to reinforce his fortress instead. Loses the farm towards the front there. A couple units around the backside here is going to be the Horseman Aemir still leading the charge with a couple of these units. Aemir now up to level 9. Ooh, that's going to be a bit of a mistake as those horsemen not following orders and engage the pikemen. Realizes that at the last second is going to manage to pull them away. But his fortress is now in danger. Needs to return as quickly as possible. Aragorn goes down. Aragorn goes down, rather. The arrow drop comes in. That's going to take out a couple of the dwarves. The weak dwarven units, but he still has the powerful ones here, and they are beginning to focus down the fortress. Glowin could use that Shake Foundation ability should he choose to, but I think there's enough damage here with the archers that these units are going to have to retreat. Aemir now shows up, could use that Spear Throw ability. Would love to see him use that against one of these heroes. And I think these heroes actually might get taken down. Somehow, some way, Megrim able to hold, and there's the Spear Throw. Not enough to actually take him out, though. Couple of archers in the, couple of arrows in the back may be enough. Here comes the additional units, though. Gimli still level 3 at this point. Tom Bombadil gets someone, can easily use a Sonic Wave on some of these troops. Would love to see him do that if possible. There it is. The units from behind now catching up. It looks like King Dane died during that battle. There's the Summon Mineshaft ability to take out, to throw back a bunch of those archers. But it's just not going to be enough. I think the dwarves here in a little bit of trouble as he's lost a lot of units. Still has that, still has those soldiers being thrown away, though, as they begin to engage up there as well. I think a couple of these units able to escape, and King Dane actually was able to escape from earlier, I suppose, as he is not dead. And actually relaunching a counterattack now to the north side is MauHur. And all of these units cannot move around the map like the dwarves can. The battle wagon here finding a couple of free units to kill. This is going to be a nice move. Loses the Mineshaft. But I think at this point he's pulled all the troops to the south. Loses the battle wagon. Has this troop moving in from the north. Is MauHur actually going to be able to win this game, or can Megrim come back? At this point, they're almost even. I think that at this point, Megrim looking to be in a pretty nice position, considering all the heroes he has out on the field. True, he lost Aragorn. Definitely needs to get him back out on the field as soon as possible. I'm not sure if Boromir is still out on the field or not, but both of those heroes, if they are not out, need to be out. The rock drop comes down, though. That has regenerated, or has respawned, or however you say it, refreshed, rather, is the word that I'm searching for. And all of those expensive archers are down. But a summon comes in. I like this. After you've lost your archers, summon more. He's thrown away the rock drop. You cannot deal with this at this point. And these archers will chase away these units. Should be able to focus down King Dain if they want. Could focus down Prince Brand as well. He has that slam shot available, but he's not going to get out of there fast enough. Boromir is indeed out on the field. Prince Brand falls. These units are going to have to fall back, and this game is not ending anytime soon by any means. The battle wagon shows up. King Dain still alive and well. Gimli here as well loses the mine, so he can't reinforce with a double battle wagon. There's no pikes in this army. Needs to upgrade this barracks and get out some of those heavier damage pikes, as these battle wagons are just decimating this force. And I think that's just what MauHur needed to gain the upper edge back in this battle. All of those units completely destroyed by those battle wagons. Went down really fast. Now there are additional Rohirrim out on the field. The summon hobbits goes down as well. This is going to be by MauHur to try and defend these battle wagons. But these Rohirrim can actually deal pretty efficiently with the hobbits, it looks like. The battle wagon's trying to stay and maintain this fight. He's going to be losing a lot of these units, though. Meanwhile, he is continuing to push from the front. The more dwarves piling into the mines. There is so many phalanx on the field right now that these horsemen are basically useless in terms of engaging the army directly. I mean, what they need to do is take out some of these side mines. There's so much income being made right now by our dwarven player. Let's take a look at the power points. We're at about 14. Needs to save up for Army of the Dead if possible. And almost another 15 spell available from MauHur. We'll find a level 3 mine hidden down here. That's going to be a really great pickup for MauHur. Might lose a couple of units as he's kind of backed himself into a corner here. Loses the battle wagon. As long as King Dain gets out, though, I think it's going to be an okay trade, especially as well as Gimli. And these units are falling back. More units now pushing in from the north, though. Megrim trying to retake his territory, but I think at this point, MauHur has a majority of the map. I want to say maybe 70%, it looks like, based on the farm spread that he has. So he's just making more income. And if he could get an upgrade going for some of these troops, then I think this might just be the end for Megrim. Let's take a look at the income. About 800 in the bank for Megrim. MauHur sitting at about 14. Pushing in from the north. Doesn't have any archer support. Would like to see MauHur go for some archer support for his dwarves, some Men of Dale, to back up these troops. But that's just not going to be the case. I don't know why he has them on this defensive standing still stance. Maybe he's waiting for King Dain to arrive, or he's waiting for the horn to wear off. But he's taking a ton of damage from these archers. They could do the arrow drop as well, and that's exactly what they are going to do. Excellent play by Megrim. They're utilizing his abilities. He's going to lose all of those for basically naught. Lowen running around the backside. More pikemen now piling in. Has he gone for those upgrades? Yes, he has. Finally, the Dwarven Mail on the way. He has had the resources. He's now utilizing those. And with that extra armor, these dwarves are going to be pretty hard to stop. Gimli up to level 5, has Slayer ability should he choose to use it. There goes the arrow drop down. Needs to split these troops, but is not going to in time. Loses about half their health from that arrow drop. King Dain in trouble, but he is able to throw down the Summon Royal Guard. And this is what I was talking about. Once these dwarves get to higher levels, their powers just become so unstoppable. More mines going up, more farms going down. And once again, Megrim is pushed back to the very brink of defeat as he is stuck inside of his base. Gimli activating that Slayer ability, able to take out Tom Bombadil, no problem. These units of horsemen trying to do some damage across on the other side of the map, losing a couple of them. Might be able to get this mine. That's going to be a good pickup. But meanwhile, he has to worry about back on his side of the base. Is there a rock drop or an earthquake or something to go with this? There's almost an army of the dead, though, and I think Megrim here, once again, going to be able to survive. Actually, it's going to be Earthquake. I guess he went up a different tech tree, and I'm wondering where he's going to use this Earthquake. Needs to use it almost on this force. He really needs Army of the Dead, though, is the correct spell at this hour. So I think he made a little bit of a mistake going up either the wrong power tree. I mean, obviously the archers have been a huge help. But at this point, he needs Army of the Dead to deal with the Dwarven heroes. We actually have a Dwarven fortress being summoned right outside the front here. Where did he use Earthquake? It looks like he used Earthquake over here, but didn't even destroy these buildings. Does he have Rebuild available? He does not. He's only at level 4, so there is no Rebuild available. This fortress is going to go down. The catapult launches on 2 as well from the Dwarven Citadel. And unbelievably, or maybe believably, Gimli survives. The fortress falls, and Megrim is defeated. MauHur amazingly able to etch out the win in that game for this game 1 of the finals here. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned. More of the finals games are coming up between these two players. Master Cloud signing off.